This is Greggory. We're actually in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we're at our consignee, our receiver, which is, the consignee is termed the one that actually is the customer of the load, so that we have a final stop. Sometimes we can have multiple stops on either the pickup or on the delivery. Usually on truckload services, this means that the whole truck is being loaded and utilized. You have one bill of lading to represent all that. You might have multiple stops, but the consignee is basically the one that calls for the final stop of it, and it's your final destination point. And you also have to keep in mind of the delivery times and schedules of the other stops, and you try to be on time as much as possible. When you have multiple stops, it's kind of hard to predict how each stop is going to handle your delivery. Some are fast, some are slow. So right now we are doing a one stop and one delivery, which is pretty easy. And generally that's pretty much what we do. There's other companies that actually do LTL work, and that is called less than truckload, because there's a lot of companies out there that just don't have enough orders to fill up a truck, or they can't really pay for a whole truckload to be shipped, so they'll actually consign it out, which is where the consign term is. They consign the truck. But at those less than truckloads, you have multiple shippers and multiple receivers, like the companies with UPS, FedEx, the mail carriers and stuff like that. They have multiples. But there's also truck lines that do that too, and they have to be, they have to be equipped to do those, because sometimes you have to route certain shipments in different directions, and they usually have a warehouse where they can collect all the pickups, sort out where it's going, and put it in the trucks that are routed to go in that direction. So if you don't have a warehouse that you can, what we call it, do an air dock, which you transfer one load into one truck into another, you generally can't do that. With this company that I have now, it's a small company, and there's only one terminal, which is fine, but they're just not equipped to do an LTL, which is fine. There's some pros and cons about doing LTL, because you can make a lot of money doing LTLs, because each pickup is a customer, and of course you can make a lot of money on a lot of pickups and deliveries. But then you get a lot of pickups and deliveries. When I did LTL work, I might have one pickup, but I'll have 9 deliveries. Each delivery, let's say it's an extra stop, so each one I made $45 on each stop, plus extra money for the fuel, extra money on that. So the more stops I got, the better it became, But it fills your day up, because you got 6 deliveries and you're trying to get them all done, and you don't want to delay too much. And you only have, when you got more than one stop, and if it's a lot of stops, generally the items that go off the truck is like either one case or one pallet, and you have to wait in line and say, oh, I only got one pallet, would you please get it off me so I can go to the next stop? and they call them at the receivers the feather light loads, because, or the peddler loads, because they're just in there to drop off one pallet or whatever, and they got to go. So, but this here is just a regular routine truckload, and it's pretty nice. I like this company a lot because they follow a certain industry all the way down, from raw materials to the supply companies, and then we go back into getting more of the manufacturer materials. In other words, we get the raw materials of the metals, and then we pick up the metal processed, which is in containers and stuff like that, and then we take those containers to get them filled, and then once we get them filled, we take them to the suppliers, and then when we get done with that, we go back to get some more raw material, and we just follow that industry around, which is pretty nice. And at the beginning, our loads are pretty light, so we do great on fuel mileage, and we do great on basically just getting here. At the end of the week, which, like this company here, we get home time on the weekends, so we have 5 days out and 2 days at home. So on the 5th day, we kind of looking at our miles, and we're looking for a 2,000 mile week, which is not hard to do that if you do it. And at the beginning of the week, it's pretty easy going right now. The closer we get to the end of the week is crunch time, because we get more loads that we have to do, and they get pretty extensive, because like right now we're doing the light loads, and we only have maybe 200, 300 miles to do for that delivery, and then we wait for the next day. Today, since I'm already in the middle of Indiana, I'm going to start getting loads taking me south. So, and as soon as I get that to go south, I'll get another load at the end of that, of the same day, to pick up my raw material. So, all today I'm going to have 3 orders, and depending on how I use my hours, will depend on how far I get today on the 3rd order. And so it's crunch time today. I've had a pretty easy day on Monday. This is already Wednesday. I had a pretty easy day Tuesday. Now today, Wednesday, I gotta go work. I don't mind. But like right now, I've already had 2 days, and I've got like 600 miles. So we're doing okay, but we could do better. Today, we're going to make up for that. We're going to do probably almost 600 miles today, just in the one day. So that's going to bring that up to 1,200. And then we still got Thursday and Friday to make up for the other 800 miles, which it'll go by quick. By the time Friday gets here, I'll be ready to go home, and they'll be ready to send me home, because they want me to get my 34-hour restart, so I can restart my clock on my 70-hour work week, and then we start all over again. I like it because I get a chance to go home. I used to be a over-the-road truck driver that did all the 48 states and out for 6 weeks at a time, and then I'd be home for 4 days and then go back out. It wasn't really a good life because you miss out on everything, but when you become a truck driver, you have to get that over-the-road experience, just to get the basic knowledge of what you're doing. And I'm surprised by the results that people come out with as they come into a school they come out, they go into a training, and then I see the finished result, and I really am surprised about how they lack in information, and there really needs to be a lot of focus on getting the basic fundamentals. Just like this morning, the guy was trying to weigh out his trailer, which is something that we always do to make sure we're legal on our tandems, which is our wheels, and we have to go on a scale, and we have to slide the tandems to make sure that we're all level and everything. And here's this guy. He's probably fresh out of school. He's probably got his training done, but yet he can't really read the scale ticket, which basically tells him where his weight is at and what he's supposed to do. So he asked for my help, and I don't mind that. And truckers love to help people out. Generally, some people don't. And that's real world. But what I'm getting at is I don't mind helping out, but I kind of worry that sometimes they just don't have the skills that they're supposed to, and they pass the test. And I don't know how they pass the test because they don't know how to read a map. They don't know how to pre-plan a trip. They don't know if something breaks down. They don't know how to fix it or what they're supposed to do. And so that's why I'm making the documentaries, and this is why I'm going to do the series of how to become a truck driver, how to do it right, the pros and cons of being a truck driver, and hopefully I'll be able to cover some bases of what to look for when you're going into a school, what to look for when you go into a training company, what to look for when you do an orientation at companies. I have done many orientations, taken orientations, and I've really took a thorough examinations of how to choose a company to drive for. Oh, if you do your homework, you can find a good company. If you don't do your homework, you could go into a bad company. And let me tell you, if you get into a bad company, it's very hard to get out of them. Plus, if you think credit ratings are hard, think about your DAC report. Every driver has a DAC report, or they call it different thing now, but they have a report that grades your performance. Now, everybody in the shipping, receiving, everybody in the company can actually file a claim on your report. You can't really access it. You can access it by calling the company and get a printout. But it's really bad because it's like a credit report. Trying to get something corrected is very hard. And people go by that, whether they're going to hire you or fire you. They go, so if you leave that bad company and the bad company went and puts a whole bunch of stuff on your DAC report, the next company is going to come and investigate your background, and they're going to look at that report and say, oh, look at here, what's this about? And you have to explain. And if it's erroneous, a lot of times they won't hire until you can clean that up. So it's very difficult. So we're going to get into the DAC reports. We're going to get into the schooling. And right now I'm waiting on, I probably got another load ready for me to pick up as soon as I get done here to continue my direction south. Or I could get off by a routine run and do something else. It just depends on the dispatcher. And we're going to get ready to work. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later, and you have a good one. And one thing, if you're going to be driving out there, watch out. See you later.